How many of you over here love to travel? Everyone. Oh, very few hands though. Who loves to travel here? All right. Hi, I'm Tanya Khanijow, and I make travel videos. And I have been doing this for 7 long years now. And when I started, my only objective, my passion, my greatest desire in my life was, bas travel karna hai yaar. Like one day, I want to make this my career. I want to be able to earn from it. I want to be able to monetize it. And also someday become a digital nomad and only travel. I want this to be my lifestyle. And 7 years later, thankfully, it worked out. So that's a very, very big success story for me. And for anybody over here who has a passion and who wants to make something of themselves. Are you raising your hand? Yes, please. Amazing. So, what's your name, sorry?
My name is Shreyashi. By profession, I'm a banking prof.
Okay, so Shreyashi here wants to make traveling her career. And let me tell you this, with the power of social media and with everything that we just learned, it is possible. You can make it your lifestyle. But the only sad twist to my story is that when I did eventually become a content creator, I was supposed to be at my happiest ever. Look at me, I'm traveling to so many countries, I've made it, and now this is my life. I get to go to really amazing places, really cool places, sometimes even witness things like the Northern Lights. But last year, I was extremely sad. I felt lost. Do you want to know why? Okay, so I'm going to come to that soon. But today, our topic of discussion, I'm going to make a smooth segue to it from that sad story, is how to make authentic advertising content. Now, a lot of you over here are content creators and business owners, right? But do you all want to make content? I think nowadays, even brands want to make content, right? Because that's how you sell your product. That's how you make money. That's how you want to be monetizable or monetized, right? So to make authentic content, let me first tell you, I have no background in it. When I started, I had literally no information or no idea of how you can make advertising content. I do not come from a background in advertising. Like most of you over here, I actually was an engineer. I started as an electrical engineer. I graduated as an engineer, and then I got placed from my college. And then I started working as a business analyst. Again, very far removed from advertising. And then I started making travel videos. And again, I had no idea of how to make it work. But I was just really passionate about it. So that's my story. And now I work with some of the biggest brands globally, biggest travel brands, whether they're airlines or they're hotels or even clothing brands, apparel brands, all kinds of travel brands from all over the world. And the only way that is possible is by being authentic. So what makes you authentic? I feel like, at least as creators, there's one thing that really separates us from, let's say, film stars. So you've all seen movie stars, and they used to make a lot of ads in the yesteryears. They still do, but in the yesteryears, when we did not have content creators, we had a lot of film stars, we had a lot of movie stars, and those were the only people we looked up to, or sports stars, let's say. And the thing is that their life, although we saw them on screens and we saw them playing different roles, it did not feel like they were the kind of people who we knew. We just knew them and they were a mystery to us. But when it comes to content creators, the unique thing about us and the unique thing about people like us, you and me, is what makes us us, you know? What are our struggles? What are our life stories? What is it that uniquely makes us human? What is our lifestyle like? And that is what makes you authentic and separated or differentiated from other people. There's only one Tanya Khanijow in the world. Okay, what's your name over here? Poonam. So, and what's your full name? Poonam Rebo, that's a very nice name. So Poonam Rebo, there's just one Poonam Rebo, hopefully in this room, just one of her, who's uniquely her. So her stories are unique to her, and whatever it is who she is today is what makes her uniquely authentic. So when you want to make branded content, especially, I feel like, firstly, tie it to who you are and what your niche is. If I am a traveler, obviously, I would want to somehow connect all of my brand work to who I am. And similarly, when it comes to different brands working with branded content, tie it to who you are and what your brand identity is. So if you're a brand, like let's say if you make content about muscle building or health, wellness. So tie all your content to who you are and what your brand ideology is, which is why it's very important to know who you are. And I have an example over here of one of my very interesting brand campaigns. I was making a video about Bumble, and Bumble is a dating app. And dating and travel maybe does not have any association with each other, right? So the idea of my brand content for a dating app was that I am going to showcase how you can go on your first date. What are the unique things that you can do on these first dates? So I took 3 people from my dating profiles, and I went with them to a Segway trip. I took them for a wall climbing trip, and one of them was a baking adventure, which is how I actually even met my partner today. And this was one of my most successful brand collaborations for obvious reasons. So yes, this was the dreamy proposal. But of course, everything looked perfect, and I still felt lost last year. I was working with brands. Now I get to travel. I can book an airline ticket to whichever destination I want to go to. I have visited over 30 countries, more than 30 countries now. And before coming here, I actually, in the last 2 weeks, I may have traveled across 4 different time zones. And all of this looks really exciting. But I was sad because I felt like I could see the real-time destruction of the world. So whenever I go to a new place, I feel really connected with the nature, with the people, but I feel like I want to positively impact the world with my influence. And I want to, in a way, encourage people how they can also care for the world, or how they can also care for the people, for our environment, and be a little bit more sustainable than maybe what they are right now. So this inspired me to rework on the direction that I was taking with my content. A little bit more about the sustainability aspect of it, what you can do to help, and how you can inspire a change with your content. And this naturally ties in with the future collaborations or the future brands that I work with. So this is my new brand story. And if I'm working with any brand which is more sustainable, vegan, I also turned vegan, by the way. So it's been, this year I turned vegan. 100% vegan. So no dairy, no meat, no fish, no pescatarian. I'm a vegan. And the reason why I did this was because I wanted to care. And with this, now I also want to tell you that if you are doing any kind of a brand film, share your stories and try to incorporate that in the way you speak, in the way you talk, and try to only opt for brands that actually have a very, very natural association with who you are as a creator. So if you're vegan, now I can naturally talk to a lot of vegan brands, I can connect with them, I can associate with them, and that's a great, great way ahead for me as a content creator, as a travel content creator. But when you do talk about the brands, the best way for any brands, any business over here is to talk in a way and to associate with your clients or with your audience as if you're speaking to a friend. And then just think of real-life situations or emotions in which you can incorporate it. Over here, I could very easily be talking about my jacket because it was amazing and I was in the snow. So that is how I've been able to incorporate and work with a lot of brands while traveling. And obviously, if I do not feel like there's a brand that I cannot myself use, I may not be actually using it, but if I cannot myself be using it, then I do not talk about it. So these are some of the ways in which content creators today interact and associate with brands and create brand stories that are relatable, that are shareable, that have some emotion in it, that have stories to it, that can talk about what you truly believe in. Because unless you believe in something, you cannot be talking about it. And of course, always declare the advertisement. Because if you don't do that, not only is that illegal, but also it makes you I think brands are different, advertisements are different from your opinions. So declaring advertisements also means that you're announcing that this is not your personal opinion, this is an advertisement. So that way, there's a clear distinction for your audience between what's an opinion and what's an advertisement. And in conclusion, take inspiration from who you are. Share stories and connect them to your brand to make them more authentic. Share the reality of what you think and add your own personal emotions to it. Keep it natural and avoid brands that you may not actually want to use or recommend to other people. Keep traveling, keep exploring. Thank you. That has been my time.